My sister's grades are bizarre. If I score 600, she gets 610. I push to 610 and she hits 620, exactly 10 points above me. But the moment I skip an exam, her grades crash. That confirmed my theory her test scores are somehow tethered to mine. With that clue, a wild idea took root. What happens if I score over 740 on the national exam leading up to the big day I live like a monk? Sienna does the opposite. She knows she can just lean on me. So she acts like she owns the place completely, abandoning her studies to party with friends. When caught, she rolls her eyes, slams her phone down, and snaps, "Can you stop nagging me?" She always says, "Relax, the top score is mine." And I do not disappoint her. On every practice exam, I carry her straight to number one, letting her float on a fake cloud while I quietly close in on 741. The second half of senior year cuts like a dull blade. Day after day, I wake up at 5, sleep at midnight, and only stop for quick meals and bathroom breaks. All I do is grind practice problems. I lock myself in a tiny sunless room working like a machine. Meanwhile, next door, I hear Sienna laughing on video calls with her friends, or shrieking at whatever show she is binging. Sometimes she cranks the volume just to rub my nose in her freedom. I do not care. I learned long ago to block out the noise. There is only one number looping in my head, 741. It is a nail driven into my chest. Every time I want to quit, I press down hard. The pain keeps me sharp. In March, she starts snooping around. Constantly. At first, I brush it off, thinking she is just looking for something, but then her gaze shifts. There is suspicion in her eyes, like she is testing me. One day, while I am working on a brutal math problem, she pushes the door open. She stands behind me, staring at my scratch paper. "You've been studying really hard lately." What's going on? Without looking up, I keep my voice steady. The exams are close. What else should I do? Sienna leans closer to watch, but "You've never been this intense." My heart rate spikes, but my face remains blank. I let out a sigh on purpose. Mom and Dad will cut me off if I don't make a top university. What else can I do? Sienna's face relaxes instantly, a smug smirk creeping across her face. She turns and walks out, tossing one last jab. "Don't burn out. The top score is mine anyway." I watch her leave without a word. Once the door clicks shut, I pick up my pen, a grin tugging at my lips. Good. Keep underestimating me. The less you respect me, the safer I am. But her guard does not drop. Over the next few weeks, she noses around for clues about my progress. She asks about my hardest subjects and practice scores, throwing out comments just to mess with my head and shake my confidence. I counter every move. On every practice test, I deliberately hold back, making sure I don't stand out. I stay in the top 5, quiet, not suspicious. My real weapons stay hidden. I only practice the hardest problems and trickiest techniques late at night. When finished, I shred my scratch paper and flush it down the toilet. No trace left behind. One night, while working through elite competition problems, I hear voices in the living room. It is Mom and Sienna. I crack my door open. Has Marcus been pushing himself too hard? I see him locked in his room every day, not even coming out to eat. Sienna laughs. "Mom, what are you worried about? No matter how hard he tries, how far can he really go? Whatever he scores, I beat him by 10 points. The harder he works, the higher my score, right?" "Exactly. That's my smart girl. Let him grind. He's working for you." They both laugh. I hear every single word. My fists clench so tight my nails dig into my skin. But on the outside, I stay calm. I quietly close the door and return to my problems. Late April, I am studying when I hear the faintest sound outside my door. I freeze. Footsteps incredibly soft, like someone trying to creep around. Then the door handle begins to turn painfully slow. I know instantly she is spying on me. I do not turn around pretending to focus, but I've already swapped my real work for a basic sheet. The advanced material is safely locked deep in my drawer. The door cracks open a sliver, and out of the corner of my eye, I catch Sienna's face scanning my desk. I sigh loudly, muttering, "How did I get this wrong? This is way too hard." I close the book and slump over, pretending to sleep. The door shuts, footsteps fading. I sit up and laugh. "Sienna, the more you watch me, the more it proves you are terrified. You know those scores are not yours. Without me, you are nothing." In May, I score 695. Sienna gets 705, topping the grade. When the results drop, she throws a massive party. Mom and Dad hover, praising her for bringing honor to the family. The dinner table is loaded with her favorite foods. I sit in the corner, eating silently like a ghost. Dad puts down his chopsticks, looking at her with pride. "Excellent work, Sienna. Keep it up. You've got this." That is my smart girl. Brilliant brains run in this family. Mom beams with pride, not even trying to hide her favoritism. Sienna shoots me a smug look, a mockery written all over her face. "You better keep up, Marcus. Do not embarrass our parents." I just grunt, not offering any argument. I keep eating, but inside I am laughing. Enjoy it, Sienna. This is the absolute last time you will ever shine. That night, I lie wide awake, running through every scenario for the upcoming national exam. Over and over again, I plan. Then June arrives. The big day is here. The night before, Sienna goes drinking with her crew to celebrate early. Mom does not stop her. She even hands her a stack of cash. Have fun, sweetie, you deserve it. I watch from my room, looking through the crack in my door. I feel absolutely nothing, just pure irony. I'm in bed by 8, my alarm set for 6. I feel unnaturally calm, like a weapon ready to strike. I wake up on time, grab a quick bite of breakfast, and head out. Mom drives Sienna to the exam, giving me a half-hearted good luck. I just nod. No point talking. This is the end. After today, our paths split. My testing room is in the old building, 3rd floor, right next to a window. Warm sunlight streams in. I sit arranging my pens one by one. Taking a deep breath, I close my eyes and whisper, Marcus, you've waited 18 years. Do not fail. The starting bell rings. As I flip the test open, my mind is razor sharp. Every question feels familiar. Every reading trap is instantly visible. The essay prompt is a topic I've written hundreds of times. The words just flow. Afterward, I step outside. Sienna rushes over her perfect makeup, barely hiding the panic underneath. How did it go? Not bad, she frowns. What does that mean? How many did you miss? I almost laugh. She is trying to guess my score, to estimate her own. No idea. I didn't check. She pouts annoyed, but doesn't push. She walks off. I watch her go, thinking, what's the rush? The results will be out soon. Then you'll have a real reason to panic. That afternoon, disaster strikes during the math exam. My stomach cramps up violently. Bad food or stress. Cold sweat covers me. I slump over my desk, barely conscious. An exam supervisor walks over, whispering, Are you okay? Do you need the clinic? I shake my head. I grit my teeth. I'm fine. Are you kidding? I've waited 18 years. Even if it kills me, I'm finishing. I dig my nails into my thigh, drowning out the pain. I push through. The formulas blur, but muscle memory carries me. On the brutal final question, I verify my answer 3 different ways. I only put down my pen once I'm absolutely sure. Walking out of the exam hall, I'm ready to collapse. I find an empty corner, crouch down, and just sit there for a while. Then Sienna texts asking how math went. I type 2 words, it was fine. She fires back instantly with a smug emoji. Obviously, she thinks she's got it in the bag again. I stare at it, thinking how pathetic ignorance really is. Ignorance really is bliss. That is exactly the kind of person she is. Today is science and English, and my energy is back. These are my strongest subjects, especially science. Those physics problems, the chemistry chains, the biology. Genetics, I have drilled them all 1,000 times. My pen flows like water across the page. I finish with 20 minutes to spare and double-check every single answer. 0 room for error. In English, don't even get me started. The graders would have to try not to give me a high score. After the last exam, I walk out to the entrance and look up at the sky. The sun is blinding, but I don't look away. I just stand there, letting it warm my face. 18 years, and I finally made it. Then Sienna rushes over to block my path. She is dressed in bright colors today, posing like a proud peacock. Greed flickers in her eyes. How did you do? She asks. Better than ever, I say. Best exam of my life. Her eyes light up like she hit the jackpot. She spins around and sprints toward our parents. Mom, Dad, Marcus says he did amazing. That means I definitely did even better watching her skip away. I smile too, the cold smile of a hunter watching his prey walk into the trap. Sienna, do you know what you look like right now? A moth flying straight into the flames thinking it is the sun. Once the exams end, summer break starts, and Sienna completely lets loose. She swears to Mom and Dad she will be in the top 10 in the entire province. She demands a massive advance on her allowance upgrades to the most expensive phone and laptop, and takes the money our parents worked hard to save and blows it all on trips with her deadbeat friends. Her social media updates every single day, nothing but expensive restaurants, shopping, and partying. She does not have a care in the world. One night I am scrolling through her posts and see a photo from a fancy restaurant captioned, Future Top Scorer Celebrating Early. Underneath is a flood of likes and comments saying, Sienna is incredible, and asking her to take them out to dinner. I read through it all and just shake my head at the absurdity. Meanwhile, I want to visit Grandpa in the countryside. I ask Mom and Dad for bus fare, but before I can even finish, Mom shuts me down. She does not even look up. Visit who? We do not have the money. Can you not see Sienna needs it? I stare at her self-righteous face and feel sick. Not a single penny for me, but money flows like water for Sienna. Dad sits on the couch watching television, not even turning his head, as he adds, if you want to go figure it out yourself. Don't expect anything from us. Without a word, I turn and head to my room. The next morning, I head to a construction site and find a job hauling bricks. The sun is brutal, baking down until I am dizzy and seeing spots, but I grit my teeth and push through for 2 weeks. The day the exam scores are released happens to be Sienna's 18th birthday party. To crown herself in front of everyone at her greatest moment, she throws an extravagant banquet. Every aunt, uncle, cousin, plus our parents' co-workers and bosses are invited. The banquet hall buzzes with flattery. A distant relative sidles up to Dad with a glass of wine, grinning from ear to ear. Mr. Lynn, your family hit the jackpot with these twins, both of them so talented. Another relative jumps in with a hint of snark. The son just buries himself in books, no social skills. But Sienna is sweet and smart, with great grades and a sharp personality 100 times better than her brother. All the younger cousins crowd around Sienna like she is royalty. One cousin is practically green with envy, telling her she is amazing. Prestigious acceptance letter in one hand. Hot boyfriend in the other. You are literally winning at life. Hurry, let us check the scores. We want to witness a top scorer. Hold on. If she is in the top few in the province, the admissions offices from top universities will call first to recruit her. The second those words leave someone's mouth, the phone rings, but it is not hers, it is mine. Under the stunned gaze of the entire room, I answer call after call from the top universities in the country, one after another. I thank each of them politely and say I will consider my options carefully. Sienna's eyes nearly pop out of her skull. She stares at her own dead silent phone, then forces a smile through gritted teeth. The best always goes last. Finally, the score portal opens and everyone swarms around Sienna, urging her to log in. I quietly open the page in my corner. Even though I know exactly what to expect now that the moment is here, my palms still sweat. Mom turns to me first, her tone casual, asking what I got. I hold up my phone for everyone to see, my voice steady. 741. The room erupts. I hold back the emotional tidal wave inside me, keeping a stone face. I did it. I really did it. Mom freezes for a second, gives me the tiniest nod without looking twice, then lunges toward Sienna. Her voice shakes with excitement, yelling that Sienna's must be even higher. My sister is immediately surrounded with nowhere to hide. Her fingers tremble as she hits confirm. The next second, her face turns to stone. The expression is priceless, like she just swallowed a fly. The screen glows with 3 red digits, 751. Sienna's voice shakes and the room goes dead silent. One clueless relative is still gushing with their eyes closed, shouting that 751 is 10 points higher than Marcus, and that Sienna really is a genius. Wait isn't the maximum score, 750. The air freezes. Sienna panics, cold sweat streaking through her makeup. It has to be a system glitch. Too many people checking at once, the system crashed. She refreshes the page like a maniac, almost stabbing a hole through her screen. Once, twice, 3 times, that cursed 751 is nailed to the total score like it is bolted in place. Someone suggests trying a different phone. Maybe it is a cache issue. Sienna snatches another phone like a lifeline. The result is still 751. That one extra point slaps her across the face like a giant hand. Just then, the banquet hall doors swing open. Several uniformed officials, including police and education bureau staff, walk in with grim faces. The one in front scans the room, asking, "Who is Sienna Lynn?" The National Exam Board has detected a critical scoring anomaly. This is being treated as suspected system tampering or major exam fraud. You need to come with us for investigation. Sienna's legs give out and she collapses to the floor, her face white as a ghost. Mom and Dad panic, but their first instinct isn't to comfort their daughter, it is to find a scapegoat. In the chaos, Mom actually shoves me forward, pointing and screaming that I did it because I was jealous of my sister. She tells them I hacked the system, begging them to arrest me. This has nothing to do with my daughter. Here we go again. These are my parents. The second things go wrong, they throw me under the bus. It doesn't matter how ridiculous the excuse is or how none of it makes sense. As long as they can protect their precious little girl, sacrificing me is nothing. Something inside me dies, and strangely I feel lighter than ever. I shake off Mom's hand and stare coldly at this circus. I am not a hacker. I am Marcus Lynn, the top scorer in this entire province. Sienna Lynn is right over there, the one who pulled off the miracle of 751. That's her. Dad charges at me, hand raised to slap my face. I grab his wrist, my eyes so fierce it stops him cold. Go ahead, try it. The officers are right here, and right now top universities are fighting over me. The media is lining up to tell my story. Touch me, I dare you. From this moment on, nobody in this family can control me and nobody can push me around ever again. This birthday party meant to be Sienna's crowning glory has turned into a complete disaster. Sienna is taken away for investigation, leaving behind pure wreckage. There is no covering this up. A national exam score of 751 goes viral the same night. It is trending everywhere, the entire internet, watching the drama unfold and laughing at the spectacle. Someone posts greedier than a snake trying to swallow an elephant. She got so carried away buying her score. Another writes, if you're going to cheat, use your brain. The max is 750 and you scored 751. Are you mocking the graders or the system? People dig up Sienna's social media and see she spent the last 6 months doing nothing but partying. She barely even opened a book. Public opinion completely turns on her. Everyone is convinced she pulled strings to alter her grade and accidentally bumped it 1 point too high. As I scroll through those comments, I feel a deep satisfaction. 18 years. I have waited 18 years for this exact moment. Finally, everyone sees the truth. The investigation wraps up quickly. Sienna's answer sheet has major anomalies. Her multiple choice section somehow scanned 1 point higher than anyone else's, pushing her total past the absolute maximum. There is no direct proof of tampering, but for fairness, the board orders a solo retake with a backup exam. When that news hits our house, Sienna is lounging on the couch scrolling through her phone. The moment she hears the word retake, she bolts upright, her face turning pale. What do you mean, retake? Why do I have to retake it? My score is real. The system made a mistake. Dad sits nearby, his face dark. Hissing, keep your voice down, the neighbors will hear Mom paces in circles trying to calm Sienna down while scheming a new plan. Don't panic, Sienna. A retake is just a retake. You are so smart you will do great. But Sienna completely loses it. She throws herself on the floor, crying, screaming, and demanding I take it with her. No, I am not doing it without Marcus. I won't. He has to be there. I need him sitting right next to me. She lunges, grabbing my arm, her nails digging into my skin. Her eyes are bloodshot. Marcus, you have to take this test with me. Do you hear me? I shake her off, my voice cold as ice. I already took the exam. Why would I retake it with you? Sienna freezes, staring at me in total shock, like it never even crossed her mind that I would say no. Mom rushes over, immediately defending Sienna. Marcus, what kind of attitude is that your sister's falling apart? Can't you help her? Marcus, this is our family's reputation. Just take the exam with her once more. What is the big deal? I look at them, finding it both hilarious and pathetic. Our family's reputation. That is Sienna's reputation. It never had anything to do with me. I say no, turn around, walk to my room and lock the door. They can knock all they want. They can scream all they want. I do not open it. Naturally, the school board rejects their ridiculous request. In the end, Sienna takes the retake alone under strict supervision. The testing site is a conference room at the City Education Board. Cameras are running constantly with 3 proctors watching her every move to ensure nothing goes wrong. This time the result is exactly what you would expect. A complete disaster. Her retake score is 157. She did worse than if she had just guessed randomly. Her actual level was around 300, and she spent those 6 months dating, dreaming about being number 1 without ever cracking open a book. The day results release, I am working at a construction site hauling bricks. A classmate texts me saying, Sienna scored 157 on her retake. I freeze, then I just laugh. I squat on the dirt, laughing so hard I cannot get back up. My coworkers think I am suffering from heat stroke. One offers me water. I wave him off. I am fine. I am just incredibly happy. This retake tears away every bit of her disguise. First 751, then 157. The difference is so massive, the internet completely explodes. The comments are absolute gold. 157 is her real score, case closed. That 751 was pure cheating. Someone even goes and makes a meme. 751 on one side, 157 on the other, captioned, from heaven to hell in one retake. Sienna cannot handle the online hate. She tries posting her past high school transcripts to defend herself, but people dig up everything. Her sudden jump in grades compared to old scores that never even hit 300. You cannot polish a turd. Everyone is now dead certain she has been cheating since senior year started. While they are at it, they dig up my records too. Every major exam from elementary through high school is posted. Top 3 since day 1, completely consistent year after year. Now that is the real deal. Someone comments, are they even related? How is the gap this massive? Another says one hit 750 while the other cannot even crack 250. Reading these comments, my feelings are complicated. I used to believe that high grades would earn my parents' love, but I learned the truth. No matter what I score in their eyes, I will never measure up to Sienna. Because what they need is not a gifted son. They need a tool to elevate their daughter. The teachers and classmates who once worshipped Sienna now treat her like a disease. Even our parents are whispered about wherever they go. The neighbors gossip constantly saying the Lynn daughter is a fraud who cheated her way to the top. A total disgrace. During that time, Sienna hides in her bedroom like a pariah, too terrified to face anyone. Her curtains are drawn tight. Mom leaves meals at her door. She refuses to see a single soul. Meanwhile, I take my admission letter to the university medical school, pack my bags, and head to the countryside to stay with Grandpa. Once college starts in late August, I will be free forever, or so I think. Summer in the countryside is like a boiling furnace, but my mind is at peace. Grandpa's old cottage sits at the base of the mountain. Earth, brick walls, an old locust tree out front, cicadas buzzing all day. Somehow it never bothers me. This is my true home. For as long as I can remember, I was dumped here. My parents claimed rural air was good for my health, but they just wanted me out of the way so Sienna could have all their affection and resources to herself. Another kid meant another competitor. Grandpa never spoke ill of my parents. He just quietly cared for me, taught me how to read and write, and told me to rely on myself. He always said that education is the only way out for a kid with nothing. I engraved those words into my soul. I stay at his old house for over 20 days. Every morning I wake up early and help Grandpa feed the chickens. I read in the yard in the mornings, walk through the fields with him in the afternoons, and cool off under the locust tree in the evenings. He tells me stories about how Dad was a troublemaker as a kid, and how hard-working Mom was when she first married in. I listen to these strange memories like they belong to strangers because, in my mind, my parents were never those people. One night, sitting in the yard under a bright moon, Grandpa suddenly asks how the entrance exam went. I think for a second and answer, honestly, pretty good, I think. Grandpa nods a soft light in his cloudy eyes. He stares at the moon, silent for a moment. Good is good. That is all I need to know. He sighs, his voice raspy. Your grandpa never made much of himself. You are all I have. I lower my head, my eyes burning. In my entire life, he is the only person who ever spoke to me like this, who truly wanted the best for me. Grandpa, once I graduate and get a job, you are coming to live with me in the city. He waves me off, smiling like a kid. The city's not for me. Just knowing you care is enough. That night I lie on the old brick bed listening to the night sounds outside, thinking that once the results are out, everything will be settled. I will show everyone that Marcus Lynn is not some pushover to be walked over. He is nobody's stepping stone. August 12th, just over 2 weeks before classes start, I am in the yard helping Grandpa dry corn, spreading baskets of golden cobs flat on bamboo mats. My phone buzzes in my pocket. It is Mom. I freeze. She almost never calls me. The last time was before the exam, asking what score I expected, her voice dripping with suspicion and calculation. I answer, sobbing, pours through the receiver. Mom's voice is hoarse and frantic. Marcus, you have to come home. Your father, My heart drops. The bamboo tray almost slips from my hands. What happened? Which hospital? She just keeps crying, refusing to answer. All she says over and over is, come home right now. Then the line goes dead. I stand there, my mind spinning. Grandpa walks out, sees the look on my face, and asks what is wrong. I tell him. His expression shifts instantly. He tells me to pack and go. Whatever is happening, he is your father. You have to go see him. I nod, go inside, and stuff some clothes into my bag. As I head out, Grandpa follows me and presses a wrapped cloth bundle into my hands. It feels heavy. Take this. It is what your grandpa saved for emergencies. Inside is a stack of crumpled small bills and some larger ones totaling around 2,000 won. It is his retirement savings hoarded penny by penny from selling eggs and garden vegetables. I try to push it back, but he has already turned and walked inside, his hunched silhouette looking. So I clutch my small bag, eyes burning. The bus from the village to the county seat takes 2 hours. The train to the city takes another 3, then I transfer to the express. The entire trip takes nearly 10 hours. I grab a ticket for the next bus. As I sit through the bumpy ride, watching the scenery blur past, my head begins to clear. Something feels off. Too many things just don't add up. Mom's crying on the phone was theatrical, totally over the top. She never named his illness, never mentioned a hospital, and didn't even say how bad it was. All she did was beg me to come home. If Dad were actually in critical condition, she would have told me his hospital and room number, demanding I get there immediately. Instead, she just kept pleading for me to come back to the house. If he is in emergency care, how does she have the time to wait at home making calls? Her voice carried a strange urgency I couldn't quite pin down. It didn't sound like a wife terrified for her husband. It sounded like a woman terrified I wouldn't return. The more I turn it over, the worse it feels. I call Dad. Busy. I try once more, but it is still busy. Changing my plan, I ring up one of his coworkers, someone I met a while back. I politely ask if anything has happened to my father. The man sounds baffled. Your dad, he just took the entire office out for dinner last week. He is doing fantastic. Why do you ask? No reason. I must have misheard. I lie, quickly ending the call. Just as I suspected. I lean back against the seat, staring at the green mountains rolling by outside. The suffocating pressure in my chest completely lifts. It is not that I am heartless, I just know this family inside out. If Dad were actually dying, Sienna would be plastering it all over social media, weeping for sympathy points. She would never stay quiet. This is a trap. But what do they want from me? After brainstorming for hours, the obvious answer hits me. It is about Sienna's massive scandal. That 751 joke is still viral. Even if she repeats her senior year, she will never get into a good college. Without me, she has nothing, and I am finally leaving for Prestige U. I am about to start fresh and escape this toxic swamp forever. They cannot let that happen. To them, my only purpose is to serve as Sienna's stepping stone, her personal tool, her donor. Once I map that out, a deep calm washes over me. I feel a quiet confidence like a hunter, watching the prey walk right into a preset trap. Except this time, the target and the hunter are switching roles. If they want to play mind games, I will play along to the bitter end. But I am writing the final script. On the train, I used the money Grandpa gave me to buy a cheap second phone and a portable charger. I power both devices up and download a recording app that automatically uploads files to the cloud. I run 3 test recordings to ensure it works without a hitch. Then I shoot a message to my future roommates from the freshman chat, giving them a quick heads up about the situation. If I go silent for more than 48 hours, I tell them to call the cops. I also share my live location. Better safe than sorry. One guy replies, "Man, your family is that messed up. Don't worry, we have your back. Go. If anything happens, we are calling the police immediately. Stay safe and keep us updated." Reading those words brings a sudden wave of warmth. Total strangers are ready to protect me, while my own family is trying to throw me to the wolves. Life is incredibly ironic. By the time I arrive, it is the following evening. The setting sun casts a long shadow as I stand outside holding my suitcase, staring up at the apartment where I spent 12 years but never once felt like I belonged. Inhaling deeply, I head upstairs and knock. The door swings open to reveal Mom. Her eyes are red-rimmed, as though she has been weeping. Seeing me, she freezes for a split second before forcing a warm, loving smile. "Oh, Marcus, you are finally here. Come in. This sudden affection is so unlike her, it gives me goosebumps. Has she ever welcomed me like this? I step inside, keeping my face completely neutral, while my eyes scan the living room. Dad is sitting on the couch, remote in hand, watching television. He looks perfectly healthy, without a single trace of sickness. I stand at the entrance, still holding my suitcase handle, and ask calmly, "I thought Dad was sick. Why is he sitting there watching television?" The living room goes quiet. Dad looks up, looking a bit uneasy. Mom's fake smile falters before she quickly recovers. "Oh, it was just a false alarm. Your father felt sick yesterday, but we rushed to the clinic and it was nothing serious. Since you are headed off to college soon, we wanted you back for a warm farewell. We are family after all. Family." Hearing that word from her is hilarious. I do not object. I just nod, say, "Okay," and take off my shoes. From the corner of my eye, I spot Sienna huddled on the couch in pajamas. Her hair is wild, her skin looks yellowish, and dark shadows bruise her under eyes. Compared to the arrogant girl who used to strut around like she owned the entire world, she is a completely different person now. She looks up as I step in her eyes, a dark mix of resentment, fear, and something unreadable. I pretend not to care and walk straight to my bedroom to drop my bags. My space is at the very back, just 150 square feet, completely dark. It was once a closet cleared out only when I returned from Grandpa's to start high school. Sienna's room is south-facing, while the master bedroom is huge and bright. That is how things have always been split here, clear as a line in the sand. I shut my door and begin inspecting the space. Desk, bookshelf, closet, and under my bed. I check everything to ensure nothing was touched. Then I grab the backup phone from my bag, find a sneaky angle, and prop it up among the clutter on the shelf. The camera aims directly at the doorway. I hit record switch it to silent and ensure there's no shutter click or alerts. Once everything is ready, I lay back on my bed and close my eyes, but my ears are wide open, catching every noise from the living room. At dinner, Mom prepares a huge feast and actually invites me to eat. She even plates some food for me. "Marcus, you have lost weight. You are leaving soon, so eat up." I chew mechanically, not tasting a thing. My mind is racing, trying to figure out their game. What is their plan? When will they strike? After dinner, Dad clears his throat like he is preparing a grand speech. "Marcus, the reason we wanted you home is to discuss something important. Here it comes." I look up, letting a perfect mask of confusion wash over my face. "Here is the issue. Your sister has not been doing well lately. You know the exam results crushed her. She is severely depressed, refusing to even leave her bedroom. Your mother and I discussed it. You are her twin brother, the closest person to her. Could you talk to her and help her through this? That is all I wait for them to reveal their real cards, right on cue." Mom jumps in, testing the waters. "Exactly, Marcus. You two are twins after all. Blood is thicker than water. What is wrong with helping your sister?" I stay quiet, just staring. The silence drags on until Sienna suddenly raises her head, her red eyes locked on mine. Her voice cracked. "Marcus, I know I was wrong, okay? I have been thinking and everything before was completely my fault. I shouldn't have treated you like that. Can you just give me one more chance?" I almost laugh out loud. Her acting has gotten better, but I am not buying it. I ask directly what they want from me, ripping the curtain away. I have zero patience for games. Mom and Dad swap glances, wondering if it is time. Finally, Dad lays his cards on the table. "Marcus, we have a plan that can get Sienna into college, too." I raise an eyebrow, telling him to keep talking. Sienna explained the whole exam score situation to us. That 10-point pattern. You likely understand it better than we do. There is some unique connection between you two. As long as you are near her, scores skyrocket. My heart stops. She actually told them. Dad stands up and walks over, his tone completely unyielding. "So your mother and I talked. What if you hold off for a year, repeat senior year, and take the exam again with Sienna next year? She will get into a great school too. 2 kids from one family at Prestige U. Wouldn't that bring incredible glory to us?" All I stare at them, not because the request is ridiculous, though it is. I am shocked by how incredibly righteous they sound, as if it is the most natural thing in the world. As if ruining my future so my sister can have one is just expected. Mom presses on, moving closer to grab my hand, her eyes shining with greedy calculation. "Marcus, this does not hurt you at all. You are so smart, you will easily get in next year. With your top scorer title and another year of prep, the best universities will fight over you. And Sienna also gets a bright future. All 4 of us successful. Isn't that a win for everyone? A win for everyone." What a joke. I have my admission letter. Why would I repeat a year? Dad waves his hand dismissively. "That acceptance letter, if you do not show up, it just expires. Marcus, you are the older brother. What is wrong with helping your sister? Once Sienna succeeds, I will not forget you. You will get your share of her cash. Honestly, that is the absolute funniest joke." Then I say 2 words I refuse. The room turns to ice. Dad glares, and Mom freezes. Sienna's head snaps up, and the desperation in her eyes hardens into cold fury. Dad stands up, towering over me with pure menace in his voice. "Marcus, what kind of attitude is this? We are trying to talk like civilized people, and you shut it down. Because there's nothing to discuss." I stand up, staring right back. "You want me to reject Prestige University just to babysit a girl who scored 157 on the national exam and then use my academic score to drag her into a top college? Why should I?" Mom screeches. "Because she is your sister, and helping family is what brothers do. I have been helping her for 18 years. You gave her absolutely everything from day one while you exiled me to the countryside and forgot I even existed. Now that she has ruined her own life, you suddenly remember you have a son. You want me to trash my future for her mess." Dad slams his fist on the table, making the plates rattle. "Marcus, watch your mouth. What mouth this mouth? I am not doing it." I turn around and walk away as Sienna starts screaming hysterically. "Marcus, how dare you? Those exam points were supposed to be mine. Without me, you are nothing." I stop. I turn around and look directly at her twisted face. Sienna listened to me carefully. "Every single point I earned was written with my own hand. It has 0 to do with you. Leeching off my hard work is your dumb luck, not your talent, and it is definitely not leverage to threaten me. Sienna chokes and she cannot find a single word. Tears stream down her face, though whether from pure rage or utter desperation, I cannot tell. Mom storms over, shielding Sienna while pointing at me. Marcus, you made your sister cry. Do you have any conscience left at all? I look her dead in the eye. Do you? I am done arguing. I walk to my bedroom and lock the door. Outside, things shatter. Dad is cursing, Mom is wailing, and Sienna is screaming, a chaotic mess like a boiling pot of rage. I lean back against the wood, shut my eyes, and let the noise drift past. My mind feels strangely calm. Tonight was just round one. The real battle is coming. I know they will not give up this easily. Let them try. I have all the patience in the world. That night I do not sleep. My eyes stare at the ceiling, ears listening closely. Sometime after 2 a.m, I hear rustling outside. Right at my door, whispering voices. I hold my breath, listening intently. It is Mom and Dad. Mom is barely breathing the words, but I catch everything. Let us do it while he is asleep. Grab his things. Without his eye and his acceptance letter, he cannot go anywhere. Look, his lights are off. He is definitely out. We do this tonight. No more waiting. Footsteps approach. My heart races, but I do not move a muscle. I lie perfectly still, faking a heavy sleep. The handle turns slowly. Thank God I locked it. Mom swears softly outside he locked the door. Forget it. We will deal with him tomorrow. He is not going anywhere anyway. The footsteps fade. I open my eyes and stare into the blackness, a cold smile forming. Just as I figured, they never intended to let me leave. The moment I walked through that door, I stepped right into their trap. But they have no idea that I came prepared. This chess game is far from finished. The next morning I try the handle, locked from the outside. My stomach sinks. I walk to the window and peer outside. Security bars are welded solid. No way out. My phone still has a signal, but the Wi-Fi is dead. I use cellular data to text my roommates. I tell them I am alive and okay for now, but things are bad. I ask them to remain on standby. Around 10 a.m, the lock clicks. Mom walks in carrying a bowl of congee. Her fake smile never reaches her eyes. Hungry eat. Have you come to your senses yet? I do not take the bowl. She places it on the desk. Sighs, and her voice gets sharp. Marcus, let me give you some advice. A smart person knows when to fold. So what if you got into prestige? You who is paying for your tuition, your food, your rent, do you honestly think we will give you a single dime? You cannot afford college on your own. You will come crawling back. I just stare silent. She takes that silence as a sign of weakness and pushes harder. That acceptance letter might not even exist much longer. If you behave and repeat the year, we will support you next time, but if you do not... She trails off the threat, hanging thick in the air. I stay silent. After she leaves, the lock clicks shut. From this moment on, I am officially under house arrest. The first day, I stay calm. By the second day, anxiety begins to kick in. Not from fear, but because of the clock ticking. The start of the semester is creeping closer. I must escape. On the third night, I decide to take a risk. 2 a.m, everyone is fast asleep. I slip out of bed and use the metal file on a nail clipper to pick the lock. It is just an old spring bolt. It takes me about 10 minutes and then a soft click. The door opens. I hold my breath and creep forward step by step. The living room is pitch black. I feel my way along the wall toward the front exit, my heart hammering so hard I can taste it in my throat. The floor creaks beneath me. With every sound I freeze and listen. Nobody moves. Then I keep going. Just as my fingers are about to touch the handle, the lights flash on. I freeze. Dad is standing at the end of the hallway with a wooden stick, his face like stone. He has been waiting for me. I try to bolt. No time to think. I spin around and run, but it is too late. He closes the distance in 3 strides and the stick crashes across my back. The agony drops me flat and then the storm begins. I curl up, shielding my head. The stick rains down repeatedly, each blow vibrating in my bones. Try running. Try disobeying me. I will beat this ungratefulness out of you. Mom and Sienna show up at some point, standing by and watching. Neither of them says a word to stop him. Sienna even has a small, smug smile on her face. Dad finally tires himself out, panting heavily. Let me make this clear, Marcus, for the rest of your life. Do not even think about leaving this house unless you agree to repeat the year. I lie on the floor shaking, not from fear, but from rage. 18 years of suppression nearly erupts out of my chest. But I swallow it down. Not yet. I do not have enough evidence, and my backup plan is not ready yet. They drag me back to my room and throw me onto the bed. The door is locked with a new padlock, this time bolted from the outside. No picking this one. I lie on my stomach, my back screaming in agony, but the pain only sharpens my mind. Marcus, what is the rush? You have waited 18 years. A few more days will not matter. Let them enjoy their little win. Once I gather enough evidence, none of them will escape. For the next 2 days, I play along. No more escape attempts. I eat when they bring food. I sleep when it is time. On the outside, I look defeated. Mom and Dad think the beating broke me. Their guard drops slightly, but the door remains locked. I am still trapped. I use these 2 days to study their routines. I memorize when each of them falls asleep and when they wake up. Every detail is logged in my brain, waiting for the perfect moment. On the fourth night, they finally make their move. At 2:07 in the morning, I hear the padlock click. Not a mistake. Someone is actively unlocking the door. My eyes stay closed, breathing perfectly even. I fake a deep sleep, but every single nerve in my body is on fire. The door creaks open. The footsteps are incredibly soft, like they are terrified of waking me. 2 people, judging by their breathing, Mom and Dad. They creep over to my desk and begin tearing through my things. I keep up my sleeping act, but my heart is pounding. I know exactly what they are searching for, my national ID and my acceptance letter. Those are my ticket out of this hell and their leverage to keep me trapped. The search continues for several agonizing minutes. I hear Mom whisper, I cannot find them. Where did he hide them? Dad mutters impatiently. Keep looking, they have to be in here. It is not like he can leave. They tear through every single drawer, rip through my bookshelf, and empty my backpack. They even check the pockets of my clothes. Suddenly, footsteps approach my bed. Someone stands there, likely debating whether to search under my pillow. Then a third voice whispers from the doorway. Sienna, did you find them? Should you not wake him? Sienna stomps inside, her heavy footsteps far louder than our parents'. She clearly does not care if I wake up. I feel her standing right by my bed, glaring down at me with a gaze as cold as a snake's. I can feel her hot breath on my skin. Then her voice slices through the darkness, sharp and absolute. Drop the act, I know you are awake. I do not budge. I keep my breathing slow and steady, but inside I am swearing. This psycho has terrifyingly sharp instincts. Sienna does not bother arguing, though. She just joins the hunt, and her movements are far rougher than our parents'. Things are thrown everywhere. Books are ripped off the shelves, and drawers are pulled completely out. I hid my national ID in a secret pocket, sewn inside my pillowcase, and my acceptance letter was folded tiny. I had them stitched into the lining of my suitcase, thinking they would never find them. But I underestimated Sienna's obsession. She rips my pillow away, feeling every inch of the pillowcase, her fingers running desperately over the fabric. She's searching like a drug dog, missing nothing. When her hand hits the hidden pocket, she freezes. Then she lets out a gleeful shriek. Found it. My chest tightens, but I stay still. Next, she lunges at my suitcase like a wild animal, dumping everything out and tearing at the lining. The sound of fabric ripping is piercing. Her nails claw across the material until she feels something hard. I can't hold back anymore. I bolt upright and slam the bedside lamp switch. Light floods the room, making everyone squint. I see it all clearly now. Dad and Mom stand by the desk holding my national ID. They look slightly guilty, but mostly righteous. Sienna stands by the suitcase, clutching the envelope that holds my college acceptance letter. Her face looks like she just struck gold, greedy, and absolutely thrilled. I stare at all 3 of them, my voice like ice, as I ask what they're doing in my room in the middle of the night. They exchange a look, then drop the act. Dad slaps my ID onto the desk, bold as brass. Marcus, we're done playing nice. See, Sienna told us everything. As long as you're around, she scores high. That's just how it works between you two. Accept it. Mom steps closer, calculation and threat swirling in her eyes. Marcus, listen to me. 1 more year won't hurt you. You're smart enough to get in again next year, and then Sienna gets into college too. 2 kids from one family at top universities, isn't that a win for everyone? I say no. I stand up to grab back my ID, but Dad shoves me away. He's stronger than I expected. I stagger back 2 steps and crash into the wall, the wounds on my back screaming with pain. Dad leans in close, his voice a cold threat. You're saying no, you think you have a choice. Starting today, you're going nowhere. Without your ID and your letter, you can't get to Prestige University. You'll stay home, repeat the year. And after the exam next year, everything goes back to normal. You still go to your precious school. Nobody loses. Nobody loses. Forcing me to waste a year, wrecking my entire plan, turning me into a stepping stone for someone who can't even score 200 on her own. I take a deep breath and push the rage down. Now is not the time to explode. I need more evidence, I ask them. So you came here tonight to confiscate my things. Mom sneers, not even bothering to pretend anymore. Confiscate everything in this house is under your parents' authority. You're still a child. What's wrong with us holding on to something as important as your ID? I look at Sienna. She's pulling the acceptance letter out of the envelope, her face glowing with the satisfaction of revenge. She holds the letter up like a trophy, then does something I will never forget as long as I live. She rips the letter. Her eyes burn with crazed hatred, and right in front of me, slowly and deliberately, she tears it in half. Rip. The sound is crisp and piercing, like something snapping apart. She's not done. She tears the halves again and again until a pile of fragments drifts to the floor like snowflakes. Her movements are slow, savoring every second. With each rip, her smirk grows a little wider. I stare at the pieces on the floor. My mind goes blank. That letter represented 12 years of sacrifice, countless nights of grinding through tough problems, the starting point of my new life, and she just ripped it to pieces. Sienna watches my face and laughs like a maniac. The letter is gone. I'd like to see you try to register now, Marcus. You'll be my stepping stone for the rest of your life. I want you to rot in the mud with me. She gets more and more worked up, her whole body, shaking her hair wild like a ghost. Why do you get to be better than me? Why does everyone praise you? Why do you get to go to prestige university while I'm stuck here being laughed at? Those scores were supposed to be mine. Tears stream down her face, but they're not tears of sadness. They're fury, jealousy, and sheer madness. But then her voice suddenly drops, half talking to herself, half to me. Do you have any idea how scared I've been? My whole life I've known my grades were fake, stolen from you. Her face twists as she confesses. Before every exam, she was terrified. Terrified I'd skip a test one day or bomb one, and everyone would realize she was a fraud. Through her sobs, she spits out, I hate that you're smarter and more hardworking, and you act like it cost you nothing to score that high. I hate myself even more. Without you, I'm nothing, so you can't leave. You have to stay to be my stepping stone forever. It's the only way I survive. I look at her, this person I've called my sister for 18 years. For the first time, I feel pity. But pity is no reason to forgive, and it's certainly no excuse for her to destroy my life. Dad and Mom stand to the side watching Sienna's breakdown. Neither of them lifts a finger to stop her. If anything, there's approval on their faces, as if she did something admirable. Looking at this scene, the sheer absurdity and sadness hit me. These are my family members. This is what blood is thicker than water looks like. I lower my head, staring at the shredded pieces on the floor. My shoulders start to tremble. They think I'm crying. They think I've broken. Mom lets out a mocking laugh, her tone dripping with condescension. Oh, stop crying. It's not a big deal. Just take the exam again next year. Consider this a lesson. Be more obedient from now on. I say nothing. I just crouch down and start picking up the pieces with shaking hands. Sienna watches me scramble on the floor, her grin spreading even wider. Cry, keep crying, you deserve it. This is your fate. I lift my head and look at her. She freezes because there are no tears in my eyes. Only ice-cold hatred and a flash of a smile that vanishes in an instant. That smile scares her. She takes a step back instinctively and asks what I'm smiling about. I slowly rise to my feet, my voice hoarse but calm. Nothing. I was just thinking that performance was incredible. If things don't work out for you, try acting. I stop there. Instead, I collapse onto the edge of the bed, faking despair. My eyes go hollow. I mutter, it's over. It's all over. Sienna watches me and her guard slowly drops. Victory takes its place. Scared now, should have thought of that sooner. Dad scoffs, sliding my ID into his own pocket. All right, everyone, back to bed. Starting today, this kid isn't going anywhere. The three of them file out of my room like they've just finished a mission. Before she leaves, Mom locks the door from the outside. The click of the lock is quiet, but it hits me like a thunderclap. I'm locked in again. The room sinks back into darkness. I sit on the edge of the bed, listening to their footsteps fade, listening to the house settle into silence. Then I stand up, walk to the bookshelf, and pull my backup phone from the pile of junk. Its red recording light is still glowing. They never thought to check it. They tore the whole room apart, but overlooked a pile of clutter they assumed was trash. The camera caught everything. Sienna ripping my acceptance letter to shreds, our parents watching coldly from the side, even encouraging her. Their own words confessing the entire plot. It's all on this video. I upload it to the cloud. Backup, and backup again. Bulletproof. Then I edit a short version and post it online with a caption, this is the family I'm trying to escape. After that, I dial the police. I need to report a crime. My family is holding me against my will. The dispatcher asks for my address and details, and I answer everything. She says officers are on the way, just hang tight. After the call, I switch the phone to silent, tucking it back into the junk pile, and lie down again. My heart is pounding, but on the surface I have to stay calm. I don't know how long it will take for the police to arrive or what will happen before they get here, but I know that if I survive tonight, everything changes. The minutes crawl by. The sky outside begins to lighten. My eyes stay open, locked on the ceiling ears, catching every tiny sound in the house. At 4:23, I hear footsteps. Sienna's. Her steps are light, like she's trying not to wake anyone, but in the dead silence, they're crystal clear. She stops outside my door. I hold my breath, not moving a muscle. The lock clicks. She's back. I keep my eyes shut, faking sleep. My heartbeat pounds in my ears like a war drum. She walks to my bed and stands there. I can feel her eyes on me, full of suspicion and doubt. Then she starts moving around the room, her footsteps drifting, near and far like a predator patrolling its territory. I don't know what she's looking for, but I have a terrible feeling. The footsteps stop at the bookshelf. My chest seizes. I hear rummaging. She's digging through that pile of junk. My fingers secretly clench the blanket, my mind racing. If she finds that phone, what do I do? Suddenly the rummaging stops. The air freezes. I can almost hear my own heartbeat. What's this? I know she found it. It's over. My eyes snap open. I sit bolt upright. I see my backup phone in her hand. That red recording dot is still glowing on the screen. Her face twists from confusion to absolute shock, then pure rage. "Marcus, you've been recording." She screams, lunging at me like a rabid animal. I have zero time to dodge her sharp nails. They rake straight across my face, leaving a burning pain. I grab her wrist and we wrestle completely tangled together. She might be a girl, but right now she's fighting like she's possessed. Her strength is terrifying, and we knock over the nightstand. Our lamp crashes to the floor, shattering everywhere. The loud noise wakes our parents instantly. Dad storms in, takes one look, and shoves me away. The back of my skull cracks against the wall. "How dare you hit your sister?" I clutch my head, gasping. I didn't hit her. She attacked me. First, Sienna is already back on her feet, still clutching my phone. She retreats behind Dad like he is a shield. Dad, he was secretly recording. He recorded everything. Dad's face changes instantly. He snatches the phone, stares down at the screen, and his expression gets darker and darker. Veins bulge on his forehead. "Marcus, you are really something. Really something." He hurls the phone at the floor. The screen shatters and he stomps on it repeatedly until it is a mangled pile of metal. I watch my ruined phone without any panic because the video uploaded to the cloud a long time ago. This phone was just an empty shell, but I do not let that show. Instead, I fake a look of pure despair, as if my last lifeline was ripped away. Mom rushes in, takes one look, and her face twists. "This ungrateful brat tried to call the police on us. He wants us in jail. He was definitely going to put that video online just like he exposed Sienna." Without another word, Dad slaps me hard across the face. My cheek swells instantly. I taste blood at the corner of my mouth. "Listen here, Marcus, this is not over. You sit right there and do not move. Don't even think about going anywhere. Call the police or post anything online and I will break your legs." He storms out cursing and telling Mom to watch me. Mom stands in the doorway. "Marcus, you really let me down. Everything we do is for this family. Why can't you understand that? Think about what you have done." She leaves too, and the door locks from the outside again. This time, she barricades it. I hear a chair scraping across the floor. The room is mine alone, now filled with wreckage. I lean against the wall, touching my swollen cheek. They have no idea. The police are already on their way. They have no clue the video is already online. They think they have a clue. The real storm is just beginning. Time keeps ticking, and the sky slowly grows brighter. I hear birds singing outside. Around 6, I hear Dad's phone ring, then his panicked voice. "What video? Who posted it?" Then comes Mom's shrill scream and Sienna's loud wailing. The whole house erupts into absolute chaos. I know the video went viral. Sometime later, maybe half an hour, maybe an hour, I hear loud, urgent knocking and shouting. "Open the door. This is the police. Someone reported an incident." Dad's voice echoes from the living room, panicked and guilty. "The police. Who called them? What do we do?" "Don't panic. Hide the kid, just say he is not home." I listen from my room. "Hide me. Where?" The knocking gets even louder. "Open this door now, or we will use force." Dad finally caves. I hear the front door open, followed by a rush of voices. I can't make out the exact words, but I can tell Dad is trying to explain, trying to talk his way out of it. A few minutes later, the barricade outside my door is cleared. The door opens. 2 uniformed officers stand in the doorway. The moment they see me, their brows furrow. The younger one walks over. "Are you Marcus Lynn, the one who called?" I nod. He looks at the scratches on my face, the swollen corner of my mouth, then scans the wrecked room. His expression turns serious. You are injured. Who did this? My father. From the living room, Dad's voice rings out, angry and nervous. Officer, this is a family matter. I was just disciplining my son. What is wrong with that? The older officer turns and gives him a cold look. A family matter. Unlawful detention and restricting someone's freedom is a family matter. We received a report that someone was locked inside by family members, and we also received a video. Take a look for yourself and tell me this is a family matter. The screen plays the exact video I recorded my parents and Sienna destroying my belongings, with Sienna ripping my acceptance letter apart in a frenzy. Their own words are spoken aloud, all of it crystal clear. Dad's face goes completely pale. Mom's legs nearly give out and she almost collapses on the spot. Sienna hides in a corner, hair messy. Her eyes are vacant like a crushed bug. Marcus, can you walk? We need you at the station for a statement. I nod, stand up, and step over the debris. As I pass Dad, he reaches out to stop me, but an officer pushes his arm away. You are suspected of unlawful detention and assault. Cooperate. Dad's hand hangs frozen, his face twisted like he swallowed a fly, furious, terrified, and helpless. I don't even look at him. I walk straight out the door. Behind me, Mom wails. Marcus, you can't do this. We are your parents. How can we show our faces? I stop. You stopped treating me like a person a long time ago. Now it's your turn to know how that feels. Mom freezes like she's seeing the real me for the first time. Sienna suddenly lunges. Marcus, you will regret this. I will never let you go. I look at her twisted face and say calmly, Sienna, remember this. From today on, we are done for good. Then I turn around, get into the police car, and don't look back. By the time I finish giving my statement at the station, it is already noon. Based on the video and your injuries, your father is suspected of assault and unlawful detention. He will be dealt with under the law. As for Sienna, destroying someone's personal property is serious. Even though the acceptance letter was issued by the school, it belongs to you. She will face legal consequences too. What about my letter? Can it be reissued? The officer says I will need to contact the university and they will provide supporting documents. I nod, say thank you, and walk out. The sunlight is blinding. I stand on the steps, squinting up at the sky. It feels like waking up from the longest nightmare of my life. Finally awake. My phone rings from an unknown number. I answer, and a familiar voice comes through. Marcus, is you okay? We saw the video. His voice is urgent, and I can hear my future roommates talking in the background. All of them. I'm fine, I already called the police. Cheers erupt on the other end. Nolan's voice breaks through. Thank God, man. We were worried sick. Where are you? Want us to come get you? I smile. No need. I hang up and stand there thinking for a long time. What now? My ID is with Dad. My letter's in shreds. I have no money, nowhere to go. But I am not worried at all because the hardest step is behind me. Everything else is just paperwork. I can contact the school, explain, get a new letter, and get a new ID. At the station, then apply for a student loan to cover tuition. These problems all have solutions. The only thing that couldn't be fixed was my family, and I've cut that poison out with my own hands. I go to the station and get a temporary ID. I use my last bit of money to buy a train ticket to the city. By the time I board, it's already evening. Sunset pours through the window onto my seat. I lean back, watching the scenery fly past. A feeling I have never known washes over me, lightness, absolute freedom. So this is what it feels like. I close my eyes and fall asleep. It is the most peaceful sleep I've had in weeks. No nightmares. No jolting awake, just a long, gentle darkness. When I wake up, the train has arrived. I drag my small bag out of the station. In front of me stands an unfamiliar city. Skyscrapers know nothing like that suffocating little town. There's something in the air I can't quite name. Hope, a future, the scent of a new life. I find a cheap motel, check in, and contact the university to explain my situation. The admissions officer is shocked by my story and promises to process everything as fast as possible. They tell me not to worry. 3 days later, I am holding my brand new acceptance letter. The same red cover as the old one, but it means something completely different now. I press it to my chest and stand at the gates looking up at the sign for Prestige University. My eyes sting. For as long as I can remember, I was dumped in the countryside, inured, neglected, and treated like I didn't exist. I thought my whole life would be lived in Sienna's shadow, her stepping stone forever. But now I am here, standing at the gates of the top university in the country on my own strength. No one is dragging me down anymore. My life from this moment on truly belongs to me alone. On the first day of school, I meet the roommates I have been chatting with online. Derek is tall and athletic, clearly a sports guy. Nolan wears glasses, quiet, studious, and here on a scholarship. And then there is Miles. They are guys of few words, but solid. The first thing they say to me is, "So you're the Marcus from that viral video. You're way better looking in person." I don't know whether to laugh or cry. Better looking. My face hasn't even healed yet. Nolan leans in close and frowns, still bruised. They really went at you. Miles doesn't say a word. He just quietly pulls a tube of ointment from his bag and hands it over to help with the swelling. I take it, warmth spreading through my chest, and whisper a quick thanks. That night, the four of us sit in our dorm and talk for hours. They ask what happened. Since the police are still investigating, I tell them I don't know the results. Nolan sighs. "Man, you have been through so much." Miles, still quiet, pours me a glass of water. Later, we talk about our majors clubs and plans for the next 4 years, just normal college kid stuff. It suddenly hits me. This is what a normal life actually looks like. This is how being 18 is supposed to feel. That night, I lie in my dorm bed, listening to my roommate snore, while staring at the moonlight outside. I think of Grandpa and what he always told me, that education is the only way out for a kid with nothing. Grandpa, I made it. I call him to say I've arrived safely and everything is going great. On the other end, he is so happy, he can barely speak. He just keeps repeating, "Good, good, good. You made it. You really made it." I don't mention what happened. I don't want him to worry, so I just tell him the campus is massive. It's beautiful and the cafeteria food is great. He sounds so proud. He tells me to study hard and not to worry about him, that he is doing just fine. After hanging up, I lie back down and make a promise. Once I am able, I'll bring Grandpa to live with me and give him the comfortable life he deserves. I owe him everything. College life then unfolds day by day, military training classes, clubs constantly busy and full. I throw myself into studying and academic competitions, desperate to prove myself and make up for lost time. A month later, a notice arrives from the police. My dad is sentenced to 3 months of detention. This is suspended for 6 months for unlawful imprisonment and assault. Mom gets 15 days of administrative detention as an accomplice, while Sienna is fined for destroying my property and ordered to pay damages. They are light sentences, but it is more than enough. That viral video completely destroys their reputation. Dad loses his job and Mom can't step outside without people whispering and pointing. As for Sienna, her name becomes an internet punchline. 751 plus ripping up an acceptance letter from the top university in the country, those two actions are enough to publicly ruin her life forever. I hear she later struggles with mental health and ends up seeing a therapist. I don't know the details, and honestly, I don't care. They try to reach me with calls and texts, begging. They beg me to forgive them, drop the charges, and take down the video. I ignore every single message. Eventually, they give up and silence settles in. That chapter is a drawer I lock shut, never to reopen. Years fly by. Throughout my freshman, sophomore, and junior years, I keep my grades in the top 3 of my class, earn scholarships, and publish 2 academic papers. Everyone on campus says Marcus is destined for greatness. I smile and stay humble, but I know these achievements were bought with everything I have. Every late night, every wave of exhaustion is one more step away from that toxic swamp. The summer after junior year, I go back to visit Grandpa. He has aged so much, his back is more bent, his hair completely white, but his spirit is still strong. When he sees me, he lights up like a child. I sit with him in the yard just like when I was little as he shells peanuts for me. As I tell him about school, the warm sun shines through the locust tree, casting long shadows. He suddenly asks if I'm still in touch with my parents. No. He goes quiet for a moment, then sighs. They are still your parents no matter what. No matter how badly they acted, they gave you life. I reply, Grandpa, I understand what you mean, but some things can't just be forgiven. They hurt me too deeply. Grandpa doesn't push it. I won't force you. You have your own mind. As long as you are doing well, that is enough. That night I lie on the old brick bed. It is the same bed as when I was a boy, but my heart is completely different now. The insects outside are as loud as ever, but I find them strangely comforting. This is my only home, and Grandpa is my only family. Everyone else is already dead to me. Senior year, I get admitted to graduate school without taking the entrance exam. I stay at Prestige University for my master's degree and receive several major internship offers. Everything is moving in the right direction. On graduation day, I stand at the school gate in my cap and gown, asking my roommates to take a photo with the same university sign behind me, exactly like 4 years ago. But I am no longer the battered kid who first stood here. I am taller, stronger, and the darkness in my eyes is replaced by confidence. The scars remain, but they have completely healed over, no more bleeding. They are just reminders of the road I have walked. Derek throws his arm around my shoulder. So what's the plan now? Marcus, grad school, first then work, then bring Grandpa to live with me. Sounds perfect. Dinner's on you when that happens, deal. That day, the four of us drink way too much talking about the past and future before passing out in our dorm. The next morning, my head is killing me, but my heart is incredibly full. Youth slips away just like that. 4 years of college close, and a new chapter begins. During graduate school, I am busier than ever. Classes and internships leave almost no room to breathe, but I love every minute. Each busy day takes me further away. I move a little further from the person I used to be. In the winter of my second year, Grandpa passes away peacefully in his sleep no pain. Someone from the village calls me while I am in the lab running an experiment. The moment I hear the news, the test tube slips from my hand and shatters on the floor. I take immediate leave and rush home overnight. Pushing open the door of the old house, I see a coffin in the main room. Grandpa lies inside. He is wearing the navy blue cotton coat I bought him, a faint trace of a smile on his face. I kneel before the coffin. No sound comes out, just tears that won't stop. The elders call it a peaceful passing. At an old age, they say. They point out that Grandpa lived past 80, his grandson turned out well, and he went quietly. A blessed life. But I don't want blessings. I just wanted him to stay a few more years until I started working. Earning money, bringing him to the city to live in a real house, eating good food. I haven't done any of it yet. How can he be gone? On the day of the burial, it is snowing. I carry Grandpa's ashes myself. I bury them on the hillside behind the old house. From up there, you can see the whole village and that old locust tree. I stand at his grave for a long time until the snow turns my shoulders white. Grandpa, just wait. I will make something of myself. I'll make you proud wherever you are. The wind carries my words away, but I know he hears them. After the funeral, I go back to school burying all the grief deep inside. I push harder than ever. I will make it. That is my promise to Grandpa and my promise to myself. In my final year, I graduate with honors and receive job offers from several top companies. I choose a tech giant. The starting salary is $500,000 a year. For a kid who came from a poor village, that is a number I never dared to dream of. On my first day, I stand below that gleaming office tower. I look up at the clear blue sky and whisper, Grandpa, I did it. After starting work, I rent a small one-bedroom apartment. Clean and neat, not big, but completely mine. I place Grandpa's photo on my desk. Every morning before leaving, I look at it and say, good morning. Every night when I come home, I tell him about my day. Simple days, but solid. 3 years later, I buy an apartment with a 30-year mortgage. It is just over $10,000 a month. Not easy, but manageable. The place isn't huge. 2 bedrooms and 1 living room, but it is more than enough. The day I move in, I stand at the window looking down at the busy streets. I suddenly think of that boy from years ago locked in the storage room. That boy never could have imagined that one day he would own an apartment, hold a respectable career, and have real friends who truly care and own a brand new life. Life dealt me the absolute worst hand, but I played it into a winning one. That evening, I pour a drink, raise it to Grandpa's photo, and whisper, you were right, Grandpa. Education really is the only way out for a kid with nothing. I made it out. The moonlight outside is bright, just as bright as that summer night so many years ago, with Grandpa sitting under the locust tree telling me stories. It feels like yesterday. Life goes on quiet and steady. Work is going well, and I meet up with my old roommates now and then, simple but full. Until one day the calm shatters. It is a weekend during my 4th year on the job. I am home reading when my phone rings with an unknown number. I hesitate, then pick up. An unfamiliar old woman's voice comes through. Is this Marcus? Yes. Who is this? She pauses, then says something that sends a cold shiver down my spine. I am your grandmother. Grandmother. That word feels so foreign. I had almost forgotten she even existed. Marcus, can you come to the hospital? Your mother, she is not going to make it. I go completely silent, my mind spinning into a total blank. Grandma's voice cracks. Marcus, your mother. I know they wronged you, but she is still your mother. She is drawing her last breaths. She wants to see you one last time. What happened to her late-stage liver cancer? By the time they found it, it had already spread. The doctors say she has days. I lean back on the couch and stare at the ceiling. I don't know what to say. 7 years since that day. I haven't seen any of them. Not one phone call, not a single text. I thought our paths would never cross again. And I never imagined this would be the reason. Grandma waits on the line. I can hear her muffled crying. Send me the address. I hang up and sit on the couch for a long time. My mind is a mess. Memories flood back. Those days locked in that room, those nights of beatings and screaming, that shredded college acceptance letter, those wounds scarred over long ago, but now they ache again. Should I go? The question haunts me all day. In the end, I decide to go. Not to forgive, just to put a final period on this chapter. The next day, I take off work and drive to the municipal hospital. I find the ward using the address Grandma gave. The moment I push open the door, I see her. Mom is lying there, thin beyond recognition, skin yellow as wax, nothing but bones, her hair sparse and gray. A complete stranger from the sharp-tongued woman of 7 years ago. Grandma sees me and rushes over, grabbing my hand. Marcus, you came. You came, that is all that matters. She keeps repeating herself. I say nothing, just standing by the bed, looking down at the dying woman. Mom opens her eyes, her clouded gaze finding my face. Her lips move a faint whisper. Marcus. Tears suddenly well in her eyes, running down her hollow cheeks. She tries to raise her hand, but lacks the strength. She just trembles. You came. You actually came to see me. I don't respond. I just stand there, my heart strangely calm. No hatred, no sadness, just a numbness I can't name. Mom speaks in broken fragments, her voice barely squeezed from her throat. Marcus, I'm sorry. All these years I wanted to find you. To tell you I was sorry, but I couldn't face you. She coughs several times. Grandma rushes over to pat her back. I stand to the side, still not moving. It takes Mom a long time to catch her breath. She continues, I've done so many wrong things in my life. The person I wronged the most is you. I always favored your sister, abandoned you in the countryside, and never looked back. I'm not even human. But she grows more and more agitated, as if spending the last of her strength. She locks her eyes on me, her gaze filled with desperation and pleading. Marcus, can you forgive me? I know I don't deserve it, but before I go, I just want to hear you call me Mom once. The room goes deathly quiet. Only the steady beep of the heart monitor fills the silence. I look at her, this woman who gave me life, but never gave me love. Looking at her withered shell of a body, complicated emotions rise inside me. Do I hate her? I did. Those nights locked in the storage room, those years of being invisible. The moment my dream was ripped apart with her blessing, every single scene is carved into my bones. But standing here now, looking at this woman on the edge of death, I realize the hatred faded a long time ago. Not forgiveness, just indifference. I speak my voice calm. I don't hate you anymore. Mom freezes, but I can't forgive you either. I continue. You asked me to call you Mom. I can't. All these years, there has never been room in my heart for the word Mom. Only Grandpa. Mom's body shakes violently, as if her last thread of strength was pulled out. Her mouth opens, but only broken sobs come out. Grandma panics, grabbing my hand. Marcus, please just say it once. Let her go in peace. I shake my head and turn to leave. At the doorway, Mom's hoarse cry reaches me from behind. Marcus, I was wrong. I was truly wrong. I stop. I don't turn around. I stand there for a few seconds, then I push through the door and walk out. The hallway is quiet. I lean against the wall, eyes closed, breathing deeply. My heart is racing, but I have no regrets. I sit on a bench outside the hospital for a long time, smoking half a pack, watching people come and go. Some walk in crying, some walk out smiling. Birth, aging, sickness, death, that's all there is. My phone rings. Grandma. I hesitate, then answer. Her voice is exhausted. Marcus, don't blame me for asking you to come. Your mother really is at the end. I know what they did was wrong, but she truly regrets it. These past few years, she never stopped talking about you. I stay silent. After what happened, she never slept a peaceful night. Your father lost his job. He drank all day and they fought constantly. They ended up divorcing, and your sister, the family, fell apart completely. I then ask, what actually happened to Anna? Grandma is quiet for a moment. Don't even bring her up. That girl's ruined. After everything blew up, the shock broke something in her. It keeps getting worse. She's in a psychiatric facility now. Good days and bad days. I listen feeling absolutely nothing. No satisfaction, no sympathy. Just the quiet certainty that karma is real. Marcus, I know, but your mother really only has days left. Can't you go see her? Grandma, I came. I saw her. That's all I can give. Grandma cries on the other end. How can your heart be so hard it's not hard? It was broken by them a long time ago. You should ask them what they did to me back then. Grandma goes silent. After a long pause, she sighs. All right, I won't push you. You have your own life. Take care of yourself. I hang up, sit on the bench a while, then drive home. 3 days later, Grandma calls again. She tells me Mom is gone, that she was still murmuring my name at the very end. I listen and say I understand. I ask when the funeral is. The day after tomorrow. I tell her I'll be there. After hanging up, I stand by the window looking at the city lights. I can't name what I feel. A small ache maybe, but mostly relief. The woman who bore me is gone, yet I feel no grief for a lost mother. Only the feeling that the dust has finally settled like a book, finally turned to its last page. No matter how terrible the story, at least it is over. On the day of the funeral, I go. I stand in the crowd looking at Mom's portrait. The photo is from 7 years ago before the illness. That sharp, cutting smile on her face. Not many people come. A few distant relatives. Grandma, Grandpa on Mom's side, and one person I do not expect to see, my father. He has aged terribly, hair gone gray. Back hunched, his whole frame shrunken. He stands in the mourning hall dressed in white face blank. When he sees me, something flickers in his eyes as if he wants to speak, but in the end, he says nothing. He just lowers his head and keeps burning paper offerings. I don't acknowledge him. I follow the ritual light, the incense bow, then stand in the corner. Grandma comes over. Marcus, it's enough that you came. Your mother can rest in peace now. I nod, nothing more to say. After the service, first guests filter out one by one. Only close family remains. Dad is still kneeling, burning paper. The firelight flickers across his aged face. I look at his back, and I feel a strange distance. This is my father, the man who once towered over everyone, the man who beat me with his fists and a stick, the man who locked me in a room, now kneeling here like a broken man with nowhere to go. He must feel my gaze. He turns to look at me, eyes rimmed red. His lips move, Marcus. I don't respond, just watch him in silence. He stands up and walks toward me, unsteady on his feet. When he stands in front of me, I catch the smell of alcohol. Marcus, I'm sorry. All these years I wanted to find you to apologize, but I couldn't face you. Your mother is gone now. I don't have many years left either. Can you forgive me? I look at him, this man I once hated, with every fiber of my being. Now he stands before me, humbled to nothing. I speak, my voice calm. You know what? When I was a kid, there was one thing I could never figure out. Why did other parents love their kids while mine treated me like a burden? I figured it out. It wasn't that something was wrong with me. It's that you didn't deserve to be parents. Dad's face twitches, hit hard. You ask if I can forgive you. My answer is the same as what I told her. I don't hate you anymore, but I will never forgive you. Not in this lifetime. Dad freezes, tears streaming harder. He reaches for my arm. I step aside. One more thing. From now on, we have no connection. You live your life. I live mine. Birth sickness. Aging, death, none of it matters anymore. This is the last time you will ever see me. I turn and walk away, never looking back. Behind me, Dad's wailing echoes, and Grandma screams my name, but I hear absolutely nothing. Step by step, I escape that suffocating mourning hall. I get into my car, start the engine, and pull onto the highway heading home. The night is deep, the road mostly empty, and I drive with my mind racing. 12 years abandoned in the countryside, 6 years treated like a ghost, and at 18, locked in a room with my college acceptance letter, shredded by my own sister. Those dark memories play back like a film. At 29, I own an apartment, a car, and a career in this city. I have become someone I never dared dream of being. Then Dad lost his job, ending up destitute, and Mom died of misery. See, Diana lost her mind. The family that once tried to crush me has completely crumbled. This is not my revenge. It is simply their own karma. Halfway home, I pull into a rest stop stand in the cold night wind and look up at the stars. Suddenly, I think of Grandpa sitting under that old locust tree telling me stories. I remember what he always said, education is the only way out for a kid with nothing. Grandpa, I did it. I walked out. I have become everything you hoped I would be. My eyes sting, but I refuse to let the tears fall. Taking a deep breath, I get back in the car and keep driving. By 3 a.m, I am home lying in bed, watching the sky lighten outside my window. An incredible lightness, something I have never felt before, fills my chest. All that bitterness, all that tangled love and hate, from this day forward, none of it has anything to do with me. I can finally let go of the past and start a new life. 1 year later, I am promoted to the youngest manager in my department, doubling my salary. That same year, I meet someone. Her name is Ren. a design designer in the department next to mine. She is beautiful. When she smiles, her eyes curve like crescent moons. We meet through a work project and instantly hit it off. She knows about my past, including every painful detail, but she never treats me any differently. She just listens, then says, "One thing, none of that was your fault. You have done more than enough." In that moment, something warm fills a hollow place inside me, a place I never even knew was empty. We start dating, move in together, and then comes the proposal. On that special day, I take her to the countryside, straight to Grandpa's grave. I kneel down and introduce her. "Grandpa, this is my girlfriend, Wren. She is a wonderful person, and I want to marry her." Wren stands beside me, her eyes red, and kneels to bow 3 times. The wind blows hard that day, rustling the wild grass surrounding the grave. I could swear it was Grandpa answering me, whispering, "Good, good, good, my grandson made it." The year I turn 32, we get married. It is a small wedding, just with a few close friends. All my old roommates are there, and Derek is my best man. He drinks too much at the reception, throws his arm around me, and says, "Marcus, I am so happy for you, man. You actually did it." I smile. Yeah, I finally made it. A year later, Wren gets pregnant. 10 months after that, our beautiful daughter is born. I name her CCC, as in remembrance and memory of Grandpa. The moment I hold her, I break down crying, a feeling I have never known in over 30 years of life. So this is what blood connection means. This is what it feels like to be needed. What family means. I look at this tiny person in my arms and swear I will be a good father. I will never let her go through what I endured. I will give her the best love, the ultimate protection. I will let her grow up in the sunlight, never knowing the deep darkness that exists in this world. Wren lies in the hospital bed and asks, "What are you thinking about?" I tell her, "Surviving those hard years and then meeting you." She reaches out and holds my hand, whispering, "Me too." Sunlight falls across the 3 of us, warm and bright. In that beautiful moment, I realize that every single bit of suffering was worth it because it shaped me into who I am today. It teaches me to cherish what truly matters, leads me to the person I was meant to find, and gives me this family that is finally eines mine. What life owed me, I have taken back with my own 2 hands and then some. Never give up on yourself, because you never know what beautiful view is waiting for you on the other side.